Yo, it's EJArendee. I want to tell you about ESTPs. We're intense. We don't give a shit. We'll fuck you up. We don't give a fuck. Okay? You understand that? It's kind of awkward yelling at the camera like that. And my roommate is kind of next door. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about ESTPs versus ISTPs. First of all, ESTPs, we are outward focused, not inward focused. Alright? Second of all, ISTPs are inward focused, not outward focused. ISTPs have TI as their primary function, which means they're going to be sitting there thinking about systems and how things align up and what makes sense to them. So this is why they're stubborn, because a lot of things in the world don't make sense to how they want to do things. This is why they're loners. They're by themselves because they view the world in how they think it should be done. So they're by themselves, they're loners, and they do their own thing. And if you tell them what to do, it's going to conflict with what they believe, so they're going to be stubborn. Okay? So they're very, very stubborn. ISTPs are they're fucking pricks. They're pricks. ISTPs are pricks. I love them. I love them, but they can be pricks. ESTPs, we're not pricks. We're the best. We're the coolest. We're the most fun. We're open-minded. If you tell us this is how the world should be, we'll be like, okay, well, I'll consider that. I'll take that into consideration. In fact, we are open-minded to a flaw. We're open-minded to the point that we're so goddamn humbled that it actually hurts us, because people start infiltrating our minds and telling us what to think, and we're like, oh shit, I'm being too humble here. I'm taking too much feedback. No, fuck that shit. We're fucking humble as hell, and we're the humblest motherfuckers that there are on fucking YouTube. So what's going to happen is ESTPs are going to be challenging, and they're going to be ESTPs like to provoke other people. We like to test everybody around us. ISTPs, they don't really do that very often. Now, extrovert sensing versus introverted thinking. You've got the extroverted sensing is the ESTP's primary function, while extrovert sensing is the ISTP's secondary function. So ESTPs live in a world of extroverted sensing. We're constantly scanning the environment around us, constantly looking around us. I can be dead silent. I can be sitting here dead silent like this, looking introverted because I'm not talking to anybody. I'm still scanning the environment, I can be dead silent. We can be in like a cafeteria, and I'll be dead silent. I'll be by myself, not talking to anybody, but I'll still be scanning the environment around me. You understand? Okay? Well, an ISTP is going to be more like this. So that's TI. Now, that's not always the case, because when ISTPs typically they're doing that in their rooms. They're doing that when other people are not around. But then when people come into their lives, they realize, okay, I need to come out of my shell. I need to look at other people. But they're still going to do it. They're going to zone out every so often. That's just TI. What else? ESTPs are the shit. ISTPs are shit. You can also see what I'm doing right now. When I get excited, ESTPs have this kind of like wriggle. We're kind of like, we're fidgety. We're not going to sit still in class and stuff, because we want to go out. We want to do stuff. We want to go fucking do stuff. Okay, that's ESTP. Now ISTPs, they don't really do that. They're not intense. ESTPs, we're pretty intense. Okay. Here's another thing. ESTPs have sort of a Beauty and the Beast syndrome thing, where they wouldn't hurt a fly, but but they're intense. They look kind of scary. They're all or nothing. Okay, their emotions are all or nothing. Black and white, all or nothing. Intensity. ISTPs, that's not the case. They're not very intense. They're not. They have moderate rate. They have a smooth legato moderation of their emotions. While ESTPs, we're just like, yeah, get some, and we're all or nothing. We're just sporadic and just, we'll freak out at, random times, and it seems random, but it's not. It's just the speed in which we flip from low key to high key is like that. So it looks sporadic, but it's really not. It's not. Yeah, we have this sort of Beauty and the Beast syndrome. We're just intense. I've actually scared women away because some of my jokes are a little too intense. Most of the time when I'm talking to these cameras and making these YouTube videos, I'm in a very low intensity mode. But when I'm around other people and I'm you know, I can get pretty intense. The ISTPs don't have this Beauty and the Beast thing. They, you know, it's the cliche of cold, heartless exterior and soft, supple, plush. Or I don't know what the actual cliche is, but you know what I mean. The soft inside, hard out exterior. Hard, callous exterior, soft, vulnerable interior. That applies to both of them, except with ESTPs there's an intensity. With ISTPs it's just a wall. Okay? It's just a wall that you have to get past. Once you get past the wall, you realize there's a person on the other side who's very vulnerable, who's very gentle, very soft. Actually, no, ISTPs are pretty gentle, pretty soft for the most part, almost always. It's just they don't open up. They don't tell you what's going on in their minds, like at all. So, yep, that's pretty much all I got. ESTPs are, you know, we're the shit, and ISTPs just suck ass. So that's the difference. If you don't know what the difference between ISTP and ESTP is, ESTPs are the shit, and ISTPs suck ass. So there you go.